Welcome to The Spider Within. I'm here with this kid's opinion, Cody. Today we are going to be doing a Deadpool and Wolverine cameo tier list.
So if you look at our tiers, we have the confirmed ones, which, as we all know, especially in the last trailer, we saw that Sabertooth is confirmed, so obviously people like him will go into confirmed. And then we have our other ones, S through F. So, yeah, we're going to kick it off with Professor X. Now, I might put him in A or B because his sister is the main villain in this movie. So honestly, the intro of this movie could be like the birth of Cassandra Nova and then them battling the womb like it happens in the comics. So I'm going to lean towards probably A, to be honest. Like, he may not be in the movie at all except for just the intro. So I'm going to go with A. What about you, Cam?
Yeah, I think A would be a really good fit because, he had a really good part in every of the X-Men movies, including the Wolverine, Logan, including the Logan movies.
Yeah.
And he just, the head of, what's it called? Professor X School for the Gifted? That's what it's called?
That's it. Yeah.
So it's very, very likely for him to appear in this movie.
Look at us agreeing. Usually we have to compromise all the time.
We do.
Alright, next up is Blade. Now, I'm not sure which Blade could appear. Could it be the new actor they're trying to do for the new Blade movie, or the other one? I don't know either of their names, but either way, I think Blade could appear in this movie. I think he could maybe be a C. I don't see why he couldn't be in the void, just somewhere battling someone.
I would put him in D because we really no mention of him in the MCU so far, and there's been, I can't even count how many phases they've gone through for the MCU, and not even mentioning him once is kind of wild.
Yeah. I'll go with D with you because I think the only reason to put him in the movie is to promote the upcoming new Blade movie, because there's absolutely no hype behind it. They've gone through so many writers, so this would be the only way to jumpstart hype for a Blade movie. So I'll go D with you.
Okay.
All right, next up is Channing Tatum's Gambit. I think this is very likely. I think he could be in the scene where they go to Madripoor and we meet Patch. Patch, obviously his face is covered, but he's also covering up someone as well. Someone is the dealer, and I think it's gonna be Channing Tatum's Gambit, the movie if it never happened. I might even go as far as S. How about you, Cam?
I think he's very likely to be in the movie. They're in a casino, and Gambit's powers are basically cards. So
Yeah.
it's not a stretch at all for him to be in the movie. It might not be Channing Tatum, but it could be a variant of Gambit. I'll put him at S. Very likely.
Yes, it is for doesn't have to be Channing Tatum, it could just be Gambit in general. Alright, next up is Mouthless Deadpool from Wolverine Origins. I'm actually gonna go lower on this. I think it could be D because they've already done the scene where Deadpool, shoots him in the head in a post-credit scene of Deadpool 2. So I don't think they do the same joke twice, so but I definitely think it's definitely likely that he does show up again as a joke. I think I'm gonna go D because they've already done the joke before.
Yeah, D. It's very likely you don't really see too many side characters, or really just a character that pops up for 5 seconds in another movie. Besides Peter, which we'll get to Peter soon.
We'll get to Peter. But I actually thought originally going to this movie, because they're doing the Deadpool core in this movie. I thought Headpool would be this guy because he does get his head chopped off in the movie. But it's not. They release pictures of Deadpool core. He has a mask on, so honestly, maybe it is him with a mask on. So, but I'm still gonna go D because we just don't know.
Yeah, don't know if it's the actual same canon Deadpool from that movie. So yeah. I would agree.
Alright, next up is Rogue. Obviously Rogue and Gambit are linked a lot, but I'm not sure about this one. I think I think her cameo would be more likely than a Blade or a Malphite's Deadpool because of her link with Gambit. She could be next to him in the casino. That would be pretty cool. So I'm gonna go C for Rogue, but I'm not very confident on this one.
I mean, I would go with B because, like, you don't really see X-Men movies with just Gambit or just Rogue. You usually see them together. I would put her B because
I don't think they're obviously in the X-Men 97 show they're a thing, but I don't think they're ever linked in the movies. She's with Iceman, I believe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm dumb. I haven't seen those movies in a while.
Dude, they are old, so I don't blame you there. So, yeah, if that affects your ranking at all.
I would put it at C.
Yeah, because she's not really linked to Gambit in the movies, which is pretty interesting. So I think C's a good ranking, but they could reunite her with Gambit in the Deadpool Wolverine.
Yeah, or it just could be, a separate world where they just work together.
Yeah.
In the X-Men.
Alright, next up is Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider. This could be a very likely one because I believe his motorcycle is in the void. Like the we're gonna call them like the scrap X-Men villains. I mean, they have like the Red Skull's vehicles. They have the Ghost Rider Fantastic Four car. So I think it's very likely we see Ghost Rider. I'm gonna put Ghost Rider in C.
Yeah, I would also agree because, like, who doesn't love Nicolas Cage in every single movie? I mean, he did a multiverse movie in The Flash as Superman.
Yeah, I think that helps because he just did a multiversal movie. So
he could just be a different Deadpool. He could be Deadpool Samurai for all I know.
yeah, there is that. There is I wonder who could be playing him. That's just an interesting point.
Yeah.
All right, next up is one that probably isn't going to happen, but I think it's worth mentioning since he was important in the X-Men 97 show, and he is a time traveler, a multiversal guy. It is Forge. I'm going to put him in F. I don't think they're going to put him in because he is kind of an obscure character, but because he is multiversal, I think it's worth having him on the list. So I'm going to go with F for a Forge. Wow, that's kind of poetic, F for Forge. All right, the man of the hour, Sir Peter. He is confirmed. He was in the Deadpool's birthday party scene, and he was looking lavish.
I mean, live, laugh, love Peter. We got shirts of this man.
Yeah, some will say put that on a shirt. We already did.
We kind of spent $30 on one shirt, but we got two, so that was $60 for.
Yeah, we're gonna be wearing that to the Deadpool Wolverine movie. I think we're gonna get a lot of cat calls with it.
Oh yeah, but Peter, I mean, not gonna lie, we should just put Peter in his own tier.
The Peter tier.
The
Peer.
The Peer.
Alright, next up is Kang the Conqueror, not Jonathan Majors. I think if he is in this movie, it's obviously going to be recast. They're going to recast him. Does he appear in this movie? I think in the post-credit scene is very likely because this movie is definitely going to set up Secret Wars. I mean, the little comic is in the first trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And Kang would be the villain of that movie. So I think there could be a chance that maybe Deadpool Wolverine in the post-credit scene meet the Council of Kings, or maybe they get to Battle World that's already been created by the Council of Kings. Who knows? So I think it is kind of likely. I think it's more likely than a Rogue or Ghost Rider cameo. So for me, I'm going to go B for Kang appearing in this movie. Probably a post-credit scene. Yeah,
B seems a lot more fitting for him because, as we have Professor X in A, Professor X is more likely than Kang to appear in this movie. And just whatever is happening in the MCU at this moment, I mean, it's kind of messy with Kang at the moment. So it could really be yes or no. So
yeah,
I feel
it's either B or F with him.
Yeah, so I feel like B would be a good middle ground of it's a yes or no.
Yeah. All right, next up is Evan Peters Quicksilver, who was one of my favorite moments from the newer X-Men movies. I enjoyed his character. I think he could. Oh, because I think he was underutilized, and I could definitely see Ryan Reynolds be wanting to use him. I just don't know where he'd fit in. Maybe he is a part of the Anarchy Avengers, but it's.
I was thinking C.
You're thinking C. I'm gonna go C with it. I'm just struggling to see where he'd fit in the plot.
Mm-hmm.
So I think C is good for Quicksilver.
Yeah, I would say same thing.
All right, Edward Norton's Hulk. This one I'm pretty confident in. We also do have like regular like Bruce Banner Hulk in this video, but I really think they would lean towards an Edward Norton Hulk appearance if Hulk does appear in this movie, which I do think they will. I mean, I don't see why they want to miss the opportunity to do Wolverine versus Hulk, one of the classic comics. It's been adapted in like little short films that Marvel's created. I think it's very likely Edward Norton's Hulk's going to show up. Very underrated movie. I quite enjoyed the Incredible Hulk movie, so I like his chances. I want to put him in A. What about you, Cam?
I mean, I have not seen the Incredible Hulk movie, and yeah, we do see the bed from Ragnarok in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and obviously it's Hulk's bed. It could be a possibility that both Hulks, you know,
yeah,
Edward
imagine
Norton's
both of them going against each other.
Yeah, kind of like a was it Planet Hulk type situation, kind of.
Yeah.
So maybe, you know, after the next two phases, we'd get a Planet Hulk movie. Hopefully, I would love to see Red Hulk eventually. So
yeah, I think he's supposed to be in the next Captain America movie because Ross is going to be the president.
Yeah, so we could be seeing a Planet Hulk movie. We could not. I mean, we already have Hulk's son. I forgot his name.
Scar.
So, I mean, they're kind of building up that we already have She-Hulk. So, I feel like we should move the MCU Hulk up into A as well, since we are talking about Hulk, and you know, and it's just very, very likely for both of them, or at least one of them, to show up.
Yeah, it'd be a huge missed opportunity.
Yeah.
And I guess to go along with the Hulk theme, let's just go ahead and get She-Hulk out of the way. I'm gonna put She-Hulk in F, maybe D, but I'm gonna go F. I don't think she's gonna be in this movie. I've seen multiple reports where Kevin Feige and the actor were trying to get into this movie, get She-Hulk into the movie, but Ryan Reynolds did not want her in the movie. I actually think they did get her in the movie, but I think with the recent reshoots they did in May, I think they totally got rid of her. So I think I'm going to go F for She-Hulk. She does break the fourth wall by like Deadpool, but nobody likes She-Hulk. I don't see why they'd put her in this movie.
Yeah, I totally agree. If this was like, you know, references that, you know, Deadpool, Wolverine, or whatever character makes, that would go high on the tier list. Cause,
yeah,
you
could definitely see Deadpool making a fourth wall joke about She-Hulk.
Oh yeah, for
Some
sure.
kind of jab at her.
But an actual cameo, that's so unlikely. If so, it's probably just to even shit on her or kill her. And
that would be great.
yeah, that would just like have her talk to the camera, and then he's like, what are you doing? That only I can do that.
This town ain't big enough for the two of us.
Exactly.
All right, next up is everybody's favorite, Wong. So, someone's opening the portal. Is it Cassandra Nova? Is it Doctor Strange? Is it Wong? Is it Ned? That is a big question, but I think Wong might be more likely than Doctor Strange because he is trying to set up the Avengers lineup, and he could be the one to bring Deadpool Wolverine into the MCU. Who knows if that's what the portal in the trailer was. So I kind of like the chances of Wong. I think he would be a good C.
I feel like B though.
B?
Not gonna lie.
I'll go B.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like B because the reason I'm putting Kang in here is because I think he's going to bring Wolverine and Deadpool somewhere. So same case for Wong.
Yeah, because I feel like B is good for Wong, and then Doctor Strange probably a tier lower because Wong has been doing his everything to protect the multiverse at this point. We still don't know where Doctor Strange is.
Yeah, Dark Dimension. If he's already in there, that's
he got that.
word.
He got the eye.
He's got the
third eye.
incredibly CGI, just beautiful third eye.
Oh yeah. But I feel like B would be a good, because it could be a yes, it could be a no. It could be just someone that's just opening portals, that's a student that just doesn't know what they're doing.
Yeah. Alright, next up is Tony Stark. Me personally, I'm going to go F. I just don't see where he fit into this movie. If he was going to make any appearance before Secret Wars, it would have been a Multiverse of Madness where Ultron was successful. It would have been he would have been the Illuminati, but for some reason, the Illuminati was just terrible. I think it would have been really good if they had Tony Stark. Doesn't have to be Robert Downey Jr., but I think if it would have been any movie he'd be in, it would have been Doctor Strange 2. I just don't see where he'd fit into this movie.
Yeah, I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure his contract ended with Marvel. We talked about this early, but we were talking about how in interviews, RDJ said that he would gladly come back. But for this movie, especially it being like a major Fox based film, and Fox, but like with a hint of Marvel in it, in the MCU, I feel like bringing such a big iconic MCU character right into like a Fox film immediately would be kind of.
This is kind of Fox's send-off, so I think it wouldn't really make sense to bring the face of Marvel into it. This is truly a Fox love letter with like you said, sprinkles MCU. Like I think Hulk's gonna be showing up, Kang. So yeah, I agree with you there. I think there's no chance Iron Man's gonna be in this movie.
Yeah.
All right, another confirmed is Juggernaut. He's very visible in the trailers, and it's good to have him. He was a cornball in X-Men: The Last Stand, and why not bring him back? Because he is kind of an iconic character.
Yeah. I remember the actor said that he did not want to come back, especially being in that suit, which was just kind of torture for him. Yeah. So I don't think the original actor is coming back to play him. If anything, if it was like, kind of last minute, they'll probably do Ryan Reynolds again.
Exactly, because he does voice Juggernaut in Deadpool 2. Yeah. So I definitely see Ryan Reynolds playing Juggernaut.
So I mean, we already seen the footage in the trailers that it is Juggernaut. So
just don't know who.
Exactly. We don't know who's going to play Juggernaut at all.
Alright, next up is Ben Affleck's Daredevil. This is an interesting one because another confirmed character in this movie is Jennifer Garner's Elektra, who was the the love interest of Daredevil in the Daredevil film. It's just, does Ben Affleck want to come back to the MCU? Does Marvel want Ben Affleck? It's kind of tricky. Like I mean, if Elektra's in it, why not Daredevil? But it's just Ben Affleck is the issue here. So I think
I'm feeling D.
D, yeah. I definitely don't think there's he's F. He could show up with Elektra, but I think he's same level as like Blade.
Yeah, I see more of a reference, to like if Deadpool and Elektra are talking. Deadpool could make a reference to, the DCEU. They're saying like, oh, you loved Batman or something along the lines.
Exactly. Yeah, I think. I know the point. They've already done the DC and Batman jokes with Cable. I don't see why they'd do it again with Ben Affleck.
Yeah, because with Ryan Reynolds or just Deadpool in general, there is no limits to what he will say.
Yeah. So, definitely reference. He could make an appearance, but I don't think it's likely.
Yeah.
Another confirmed one is Sabertooth, and funny enough, so I forgot to mention, if you go to the community tab of my channel, I made a bunch of Deadpool Wolverine bingo cards. So, if you want to spice up your viewing experience with your friends, just go to the community tab, print out the bingo cards, and make your experience more fun. But yeah, speaking of that, I was making the bingo cards, finished them. I added Sabertooth. The next day, the trailer confirms Sabertooth. So
out of nowhere,
coincidence. Yeah. And I was already suspecting he'd be in there, but it's good to see that he's actually going to be in there.
Yeah, because it was basically all the trailer footage that we already saw. Just with that one scene. I mean, I think there was like other scenes as well that I added that were new, but like what was like a big part was Sabertooth, and that was just out of nowhere. I was not expecting that at all.
Yeah, and I love how Deadpool's saying people have been waiting for this for decades.
Exactly. And so him being in the movie is great, the iconic hero and villain Wolverine, Sabertooth, gotta love it.
They got the villain version. This definitely is, because it's kind of weird. So in the origin movies for Wolverine, Sabertooth was his brother, but he's not in the X-Men films. So I wonder if they're going to address that at all, but it seems like Sabertooth is not very keen on being a brother of Wolverine in this certain scene.
Yeah. So Henry Cavill.
Yeah, Henry Cavill. So people have been wanting him to play Patch. He would be Wolverine's Patch. That and Daniel Radcliffe. So I guess let's put these two together. I think either one of these guys. It's either one of these guys for me. It's just either one of these guys is going to be like a B or like A, and the other one's going to be an F. So
yeah.
Who do you think is going to be Patch?
I feel like Daniel's gonna be Patch. I see him more Patch than anything. I think he could pull it off better. I don't know why, but it's just like I could just see him being in that suit and being all pimped out.
He looks more like a Wolverine variant than Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
So are we gonna put Henry in F?
I feel like D.
D.
Because there could be a chance.
I agree. So where do we want to put Daniel Radcliffe? Because I do think he will be Patch.
I feel like right there is fine.
Yeah, B.
Yeah, actually, bump it up to A.
Let's bump up to A.
Yeah.
The fans have been wanting it for years. You already know Ryan Reynolds is aware of what the fans want. He's going to try to get Daniel Radcliffe as Patch.
Oh, yeah.
Next up is Thor. I'm going to put Thor in S because there is footage of the movie where Paradox is showing Deadpool like the future, and one of them has it where Thor is holding Deadpool like he's holding Loki when he died, but it's Deadpool, not Loki. So that's confirmed in the movie, in the movie, but they did do reshoots. Maybe they take the scene out, so it would be confirmed, but who knows? So I'm gonna put him in S in case they do take that part of the movie out.
Yeah, I see Thor being in this movie with Deadpool going through the multiverse, especially with a big scene like Loki dying, especially in that scene right there that you were talking about. So yeah, we'll put him in S.
Yeah. All right, next up is Magneto. I definitely think Magneto could be in this movie. I think he could be very important. I definitely think Deadpool Wolverine are going to initially try to attack Cassandra Nova, fail miserably, and then they got to go recruit the Anarchy Avengers. So I think Magneto's going to be one of the first recruits since he is one of the most powerful beings in the entire universe. So I like the idea of Magneto potentially being an S.
Yeah, and especially in our last Deadpool and Wolverine video, we made a big stretch with Fortnite and the Deadpool movie being a big part, and Magneto's the skin in the game. So yeah, I mean,
Wasteland
the
Magneto,
promotion right there.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna be in a wasteland. For some reason, they're having a Wasteland Magneto skin. So
the promotion, and they're coming out with new Wolverine skin in Fortnite that just got leaked. So they're really trying to promote this movie as best as they can.
Yeah, so I definitely think Magneto's gonna be there with that, with Cam's theory in there too. I mean, I don't think it's that big of a stretch. So I think Magneto could be an S.
Oh yeah.
Next up, Mobius. Wow. I don't think he's going to be in this movie. And here's why. I think for every single universe, there's a different TVA. That's why there's absolutely no X-Men references in the Loki TV show, because it's their TVA, it's their universe. However, Deadpool's going to be in the Fox TVA, because that seems like what the entire Void is, with some other, Marvel guys. So I don't think Mobius is going to be in this movie. Maybe they briefly go to our TVA universe for a second, and there's Mobius.
Yeah,
that's the only way I see him in this movie.
Yeah, don't really see it, like you said, different TVA. So you're not going to see the OGs in there. You're not going to see Sylvie. You're not going to see Loki off in the distance in the TVA space, whatever it's called.
Alright, next up is Storm. I think Storm could be a very good option, especially the Halle Berry version. She was definitely done dirty by the former directors of the X-Men movie, so I definitely see Sean Levy, Ryan Reynolds wanting to do her diligence and put her in this movie as part of the Anarchy Avengers. So I think B. I think she could definitely show up in this movie.
Oh yeah, she could. Yeah, I feel like B is a really good choice for Storm.
Next up is Doctor Strange. I don't think he's going to be in this movie. I think it's more likely Wong. Doctor Strange is in the Dark Dimension. That's where he went to at the end of Doctor Strange 2. I think he's doing some side quests. I might even put him in F. I just don't see where he fit in. I think Wong is way more likely.
I would put him in D just because of the portals, because you really just don't know who it is, if I'm being honest. I mean, but we haven't really got any updates after what was it, No Way Home or Multiverse?
Multiverse of Madness came after. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we didn't really have any confirmation of what he was doing or where he is after Multiverse.
I agree. All right, up next is Cable, and Josh Brolin has been saying he's not in this movie, but I think that's BS. I can't trust an actor after Andrew Garfield, saying that he's not in this movie. I definitely don't see why he wouldn't be in this movie, because Deadpool literally used his time travel device to go back in time. I definitely see Cable getting mad about that. I can even see him try to basically hunt down Deadpool and throughout this entire movie. I think that'd be a cool little thing to add in this movie, every 30 minutes to show Cable tracking down Deadpool Wolverine. So I think he's gonna be in B.
Yeah, if anything, I feel like he would just be in the first couple minutes or the first act, yelling at Deadpool for just using his time travel device.
Yeah, I don't see him being a big plot point in this movie. Yeah,
so I definitely feel for a B as well.
All right, next up is Lady Deadpool. I'm gonna throw her an S. I think you're gonna agree too. What Deadpool uses Uzis, it's only Lady Deadpool, and yeah, I think in the latest trailer they showed a very female walking Deadpool, so it's gonna be Lady Deadpool.
Yeah, I wouldn't put in confirmed because we didn't really see the face or the mask of Lady Deadpool, so it's not technically confirmed that she is. So S would be the only other option for us, and you can't have a Deadpool movie, especially a multiverse variant movie, without Lady Deadpool.
Yeah, completely agree. Alright, next up is a personal favorite of mine that could happen. It is Chris Evans' Human Torch, who he played way back in the day as Human Torch. I think I'm gonna say A because he was in, I forget which movie it was. I think it was Fall Guy. He made a cameo, which was a Ryan Reynolds movie.
Yep.
And I don't see why not, play a little joke for a movie that was pretty bad, Fantastic Four. And I don't see him coming back as Captain America. So why not do Human Torch?
Yeah, as far as I know that, Ryan Reynolds and Chris Evans are good friends. So why not put one of your friends, another Marvel colleague, into a really big movie of the year, trying to make some money off of it, Yeah, and he could reference Captain America, for all I know, to Chris Evans.
For sure. And there is the Fantastic Four car in the void that that Cassandra Nova's people are using. Alright, next up is Doctor Doom. This one's pretty interesting. Will he be the new bad of the MCU? Is it still going to be Kang? Yet to be unknown. A theory of mine, I think Doctor Doom is going to show up in the next Doctor Strange movie because his face looks a lot like Dormammu, and I think Dormammu could be like an avatar for him,
Yeah.
So I think we're going to see Doctor Doom. I don't know if it's going to be in this movie, but it's hard to say because the Secret Wars comic had Doctor Doom's face on it in the first ever trailer for this movie. So they could be hinting at him being the villain of Secret Wars. It could be him instead of Kang that creates Battle World. So that's a case for him to be. But I'm going to go with C because it's less likely than Kang in my opinion. They've already built up Kang. They haven't set up anything with Doctor Doom.
I mean, I would do B because if they do decide to scrap the Kang route, the only person that could do Secret Wars is Doctor Doom. So they could do like a little teaser trailer for Fantastic Four, for all I know, and have Doctor Doom be in it.
Yeah, so it's a tricky position. C or B, Cam?
I feel like we should put him in where Kang, because
it's either him or Kang, so I agree with that.
Yeah.
Alright, next up is another confirmed one, Elektra from the Daredevil movie, Jennifer Gardner. She, pretty interesting she's gonna be in this movie. I'm kind of thinking now, because if she's in this movie, that means her universe is pruned, which has Daredevil in it, so it makes it more likely that he's going to be in there, but, I mean, it is Ben Affleck, so that's why it is less likely, but she's going to be in this movie. She'll probably be part of the Anarchy Avengers, so it'll be good to see her back as Elektra. Alright, next up is Loki. I think we should put him above Mobius since he is more prevalent. He's basically holding the entire multiverse together. Yeah. But I think he's basically the same as Mobius. Where we're not going to be seeing his version of the TVA in this movie.
Yeah, or, just for a second, just have Loki kind of freaking out of like, oh, what is happening with the multiverse, with the MCU?
Yeah, so pretty cool. Just pan the Loki, just examining what's going on.
Or just show the tree and like you see like the Loki silhouette.
Yeah, imagine seeing like one of the branches just fall because of like the actions of the characters in this movie.
Because there's gonna be a lot that should not be happening in this movie.
Yeah. All right, next up is Taylor Swift.
Oh Jesus!
Will she be Dazzler? Look, it's very likely since Ryan Reynolds is great friends, especially his wife. They're besties. One of the trailers had Deadpool Wolverine friendship bracelets, which is synonymous with Taylor Swift. And one of the very last lyric of her album was dazzling. It's everything's leading up towards it. Taylor Swift would make this $1 billion movie.
Yeah, but I also see Marvel fans getting upset with just Taylor Swift being in Marvel.
I agree. And it could be a situation, like Multiverse of Madness, where this is just never even a possibility. Who knows?
Yeah, I
Tom Cruise as Iron Man was a big popular opinion going to Multiverse of Madness.
I would put D.
You're going all the way as D.
Yeah, I don't see Taylor Swift being in the movie, if I'm being honest.
I'm thinking C. There's too much evidence. There's too much evidence. Who is more likely to appear in this movie? Henry Cavill or Taylor Swift?
Oh, you're getting me with this one.
Exactly.
Okay.
We'll put them we'll reorganize it, but we're gonna put it at the bottom of C. How about that? All right. Next up is a Cyclops. I could very well see him in this movie. I think as likely as a Storm cameo. He's the leader of the X-Men. Honestly, we could put him in A. He's the leader of the X-Men. Why wouldn't he be in the Farewell X-Men movie?
Yeah, and I could see him being with Professor X as well, because, like, Cyclops and Professor X are literally two peas in a pod.
They're tight.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's basically he's a father figure.
Exactly.
For Cyclops.
So I see Cyclops and Professor X being in the same scene together.
Yeah. And I think it would be hilarious if we see Cyclops, Storm, Wolverine, all in their yellow and blue X-Men uniforms.
Oh yeah.
Because it is funny in the original X-Men movies, they're in their all black boring uniforms, and Cyclops in the first X-Men movie does say to Wolverine, "What did you expect? Like yellow spandex for our costumes?" I think that would be a hilarious callback if they do end up in yellow spandex in this movie.
Yeah.
All right, next up is one that I want to put in S, and that is Daphne King as, is it X-22 or 23? I don't know. I think she's going to be back for sure. I mean, Larry, in one of the scenes, Wolverine's talking to someone and saying kid. Like, why wouldn't it be her? It makes sense. I definitely see Deadpool going back to Logan's grave. I think Laura could be there to guard his grave.
They are going back to the same wooded area that Logan died in. We already see a car that's already flipped. It could be a little bit before everything, or they could have just messed up the whole scene in general and made the car go somewhere else where
who knows,
and the canon timeline should have not have been. But I do see, I'm pretty sure it's X-22 being in.
We'll just call her Laura.
Yeah, I see Laura being in this movie.
I agree. And the last one we have is the Punisher. I'm gonna go D of Punisher. It could be a variety. There's been a lot of Punishers over the years, so it doesn't really matter for me which one. I could definitely see Punisher showing up like randomly in the void. Same thing with Blade. Like I definitely see him higher up here. Maybe them fighting each other. I think that'd be pretty cool. Two assassins. But I don't know. I'm feeling less confident about Rogue the more this video goes on. I kind of want to throw Rogue into D because she has no relationship with Gambit at all in the movies.
Yeah, but it could be a universe where they are together because this is going to be a multiverse movie.
True, but I think Blade and Punisher are more likely than Rogue.
Really?
I do. Rogue's way more unknown. I think she's more likely than Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
But I think Mouthpool or no Mouthpool would be more likely.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so there's adjustment there. Who were we just talking about? We were talking about Punisher. Yeah, I could just see him randomly fighting someone in the void. Could even be in the background. They don't even acknowledge him. I don't know. I could definitely see him maybe in the movie, but not really.
I could see him as just like a background character of, just his typical shirt with the skull, just fighting in the background as some random guy.
Yeah.
No dialogue, just background character.
Yeah. Let's reorganize it all. Like if we don't need to for confirmed, but for S,
I'm feeling pretty good.
yeah, Lady Deadpool is probably higher up than Thor.
I feel that Lady Deadpool should be S.
Should be at the top of S.
Top of S.
Yeah, I agree.
No,
I agree.
No. I feel like Laura should be in between Gambit and...
Yeah. Honestly, she's probably more likely than Gambit.
Yeah.
Alright, I like that S. What about A? I think Cyclops is more likely than Chris Evans.
Yeah.
And then probably more likely than Daniel Radcliffe. But I definitely think either Hulk's gonna be in the movie.
Yeah, either one. Or just Bruce Banner in general.
Yeah. Alright, as for B, I think Cable belongs at the bottom. Might be good, honestly.
Yeah,
C, Ghost Rider probably most likely out of C. Especially if it's Nicolas Cage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
maybe swap Loki with Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Alright. D, I like D, what about you? Well, actually, Mobius.
I feel like we should drop Henry Cavill all the way at the bottom.
I agree.
But other than that...
And then F doesn't really matter. I guess She-Hulk's most likely out of these. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I feel like... Yeah. Thanks for watching this tier list of Deadpool and Wolverine cameos. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I will be posting more videos as the time goes on. Notification bell, hit that like button. Check out Cody's channel, This Kid's Opinion. He posts all this basketball content. He does Marvel content. Hopefully, we'll start to do season 2 of podcasts. Hopefully.
Wow.
Yeah. Peace out.